Hey everyone, happy Monday. Today is Monday, May 11th, 2020. Hope all you guys had a great start of the week. Let's talk about the S&P 500 or the E-mini S&P 500, which is a stock, not a stock, a future product I do trade. I trade the E-mini 500 options. As you can see here today, the market is consolidating a little bit in the since the open on Sunday. So the E-mini 500 actually opens Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So this product has been trading basically flat since April 29th. I've been expecting this move to be more. I was looking for a stronger move in S&P 500, but instead we got a stronger move in the NASDAQ E-mini futures. So the NASDAQ is absolutely outperforming all the other index at the moment because the tech stocks are just extremely strong right now. And that is expected because in this economy, their business model, they don't rely on person-to-person contact. So the tech stock like Amazon, Facebook, Google, their business model does work under the current economic and the coronavirus situation. And because all these retails are, the retail stores, these shopping malls are actually going bankrupt, it basically solidifies the position of these e-commerce companies like Amazon and Shopify. So the tech stock is absolutely crazy right now. And also at the same time, the biotech is doing very well, obviously because they're benefiting from, the coronavirus and the higher demand in healthcare. So that these are absolutely expected. What I did not expect is that I mistakenly, had a larger long position in S&P where I should have done is just to have a long position in NASDAQ, which is outperforming everything else. S&P right now is still trying to get above the 2,900 level. I was expecting, S&P to be above the 3,000 level by now, but it hasn't happened yet. As due to S&P has 500 different companies, and a portion of them are being affected by the coronavirus, so they are dragging down the market. Although the 25% of the S&P is actually tech stocks, so S&P 500 should be getting going past that 2,900 by now, by maybe tomorrow or the day after. So I'm still holding my options. I'm still holding my positions. What worries me is that my options are, although I bought them pretty far out, but they do have a IV component, right? Because the VIX is going down, so they are hurting a bit of my options. But anyway, I think the S&P 500 will continue to go up in the next couple of days, and we should be fine here. I wouldn't go short here because that is not a double top, okay? That is not a double top when the NASDAQ is making higher highs, and I believe the NASDAQ is going to make an all-time high. I know it sounds crazy. Again, I repeated this opinion from my previous video. In the previous video, I believed NASDAQ is going all-time high, and I still believe so. That thesis has not changed. So if the NASDAQ is making all-time high, the S&P 500, which has 25% of that in the technology stocks, will reach the 3,100 level. That's what I have been looking for. The other thing I want to look at is the Bitcoin. Bitcoin, again, we talked about the Bitcoin has a bunch of halving that's going on in Bitcoin. by just looking at the Bitcoin chart right now, it is doing a lot of nothing. I mean, we had a huge shakeout, due to the coronavirus or whatever. It's a liquidity crunch basically in Bitcoin, and right now we are trying to get above, the 10,000 level. I think eventually Bitcoin is gonna oscillate here for a while, and eventually it's gonna break up and try to retest the 19,000 level. I think we're gonna go to all-time high sooner or later, probably later this year or next year. However, I don't think the Bitcoin is gonna be the cryptocurrency that is that has a huge upside. The reason is the market cap of Bitcoin is quite big, right? Hold on, that's the wrong one. As you can see, the market cap of Bitcoin is about $157 billion. The market cap of Tesla is about let's see, is about $150 billion. So the Bitcoin has a same market cap of Tesla. I don't know. I think it's comparing apple to orange right now. Regardless, let's say the Bitcoin can go. You want to make 10 times on Bitcoin, so Bitcoin has to go to $1.5 trillion market cap for you to make 10 times from this price level, which is going to be very, very difficult because you need to have a lot of money that pumping into Bitcoin for it to reach to $1 trillion level. And the probability of that is just not that high, right? And I would recommend for anyone who wants to invest in cryptocurrency, investing some smaller market cap currency, or even number two like the Ethereum, which is much more likely to give you a 10-time return over Bitcoin. I personally think that Bitcoin is, if you're buying Bitcoin right now, you are kind of late to the game. I'm not kind of late. You are late to the game, right? You should have bought Bitcoin 5-6 years ago. I believe the easy money in Bitcoin is kind of gone, and I would recommend people not buy Bitcoin, but buy a the second big top 10. If you look at the list of top 10 cryptocurrency, coin market cap, right? Let's go to coin market cap, and we can take a look at this. I would recommend buying some Ethereum. Don't buy Tether. That's a stable coin. Bitcoin Cash, no. Litecoin, no. EOS, I would recommend buying EOS, or even Binance Coin. Binance Coin is actually quite good. I do own some Binance Coin, by the way, because you can use Binance is one of the best, most liquid exchange on the planet right now, and you can use the Binance Coin. If Binance Coin has certain utility, the Binance guys are pretty smart. If you own the Binance Coin, you can use the Binance Coin to pay for your commissions with a 40% discount. So Binance Coin does have quite a bit of utility here. EOS, I like it. I like EOS. Unfortunately, by the way, I actually understand the source code of these tokens. I can read the source code, which gives me a distinct advantage in investing in cryptocurrency, by the way. So I did take a look at the EOS, and I own the EOS. I actually have an EOS wallet, not on exchange, but a private wallet. The problem with EOS is the initial onboarding prompt. To create an EOS wallet, if you want to create your own wallet, you have to pay a certain. You actually have to pay money to create a wallet. That is a huge barrier for onboarding new users, right? I don't know what's wrong with these guys who designed EOS. It's like putting such an obvious onboarding hurdle on the on the token itself, which just doesn't make any sense to me. But hey, that's the decision. The reason is the EOS has such onboarding barrier of entry is because they want to keep the transactions free. So once you create your own wallet, you're basically buying a certain amount of RAM and CPU, what they call that's the resources in the EOS. So once you have those, you can have free transactions, as opposed to blockchains like Ethereum, where every time you transact, you had to pay a certain amount of money for it. You had to pay a small transaction fee, like they call that gas in Ethereum. For EOS, you don't pay transaction fees. You only pay for buying and purchasing your CPU and RAM. But that also creates another problem, that the CPU and RAM are scarce resources, and sometimes there are a lot of speculation going on in the CPU and RAM. EOS, that's another topic. So I just think that the EOS, the design of the EOS, I'd rather have a cryptocurrency that allows people to create a wallet without any barriers than a cryptocurrency like EOS has this kind of initial barrier for adoption, which is not a great design in my opinion. And you can see that EOS does lag. If you look at the price of EOS, it is lagging the general market, right? Like if you look at Bitcoin, it was reaching a Bitcoin at this level in February 13. Bitcoin basically went back to the February 13 level. So even if you have bought the very top of February 13, and for Bitcoin, you would have broken even like a couple of days ago. Today, yesterday and today, the price dropped in Bitcoin because of halving. Halving. Don't even take too much. Don't pay too much attention to the Bitcoin halving. That just a marketing scam in my opinion, because you're probably seeing, if you are in cryptocurrency space, you're probably seeing a lot of emails, ads on the exchanges telling you to buy before halving, and people buy, the whales just dump the Bitcoin on you, and you're gonna lose money. So buying Bitcoin before the halving is such a bad investment proposition. I wouldn't recommend it. So right now, the whales are pushing down the price actually in Bitcoin and all the other cryptocurrency. But just look at the EOS, right? EOS came down in March 14th, and which the bottom, and it hasn't really be able to go back to the previous interim high in February 13th. That's actually a very bad sign for the. It just shows that this cryptocurrency is really weak compared to the overall market. But if we look at some stronger ones like Bitcoin. Bitcoin has February 13th. If you look at this, February 12th, it was like 1,000. And 10,000, sorry, and now it went back to 10,000. So you would have broken even in Bitcoin, despite it dropped to only 3,000. It crashed, but you would have broken even if you held on to it. Again, my advice is that if you trade cryptocurrency, do not use leverage. Absolutely do not use leverage. These products, I've seen people doing 25 times leverage, 20 times leverage, 10 times leverage, trading these cryptocurrency futures. I see people trading the cryptocurrency options futures. Oh man, don't do those, because the underlying moves so much, right? And this thing trades 24/7, first of all. So when it moves, it could be moving while you sleep, and when it moves, it could move like 15%, 20% in an hour, or in 5 minutes. Your stop's just gonna be run over. Even if you don't have stop, you have leverage. If you like this, back in March 12th, it moves to like more than 60% in couple hours, and you could be sleeping that day, right? And you wake up. I remember on March, I woke up, my cryptocurrency account just went down by 60% overnight, and I wasn't even aware of it. Imagine I had a leverage on it, even a 50% leverage, or maybe not 50%, even 100% leverage, I would have been wiped out with 100% leverage. And there are people out there, I know a lot of retail people, they're trading like 10 times, 20 times, 5 times leverage. Dude, you're just gonna go bankrupt, okay? I'm not even gonna talk to you if you're thinking about trading these products on 10 times, 20 times leverage, or even 2 times leverage. You're going bankrupt. Just forget about you might as well just like spend your money on your girlfriend or something, right? Or on your second wife. So just don't do that. Don't use the leverage products. Don't use the leverage on Bitcoin. Don't use leverage on these cryptocurrency products because they move so much. They have whales in these products and they move so much. The whales can see your position. They can see your leverage. Keep in mind, these exchanges are selling your data away to the whales, and they can see your position. They can see your leverage. They can see your average price, your cost. They can see your hands. Unless if you have leverage, your weak hands, you will be wiped out, 100%. So don't do that. So, okay, let's look at the Bitcoin. Ethereum is quite strong. If you look at Ethereum, when you can see that is a way better chart than in the 3 months period. You can see there's a way better chart than the EOS. EOS went down quite a bit, and what happened here? It wouldn't show me the entire chart. That's weird. Let me just refresh it. You can see that Ethereum since February 19, it dropped quite a bit to as low as 80 actually on some exchange, but it has pretty much climbed back up to the previous, just slightly below the high point, right? So if you own Ethereum, as long as you don't buy at this quite high point, you should be safe. If you bought here, you should be safe. Now you're just broke even. So that's what I mean by not having a leverage, right? Because this drop is more than 50%. So you have a 2-time leverage, you're done. You will lose all of your money. Okay, so that's what I want to say. If you really want to get into cryptocurrency, I would recommend buying number 2, number 3 cryptocurrency. Don't buy number 1. Okay, and for the index itself, I just recommend holding your long positions for now, and we'll see about the price actions in the next couple of days. Have fun and enjoy, and happy trading. Bye bye.